Do you like knowing the fact that when you get home, your dog will slobber your whole face, and just knowing that they're safely at home with good, loving people? How about knowing that animals to this day are being mistreated, poisoned, and maybe even dying without ever being given the chance to taken care of and loved? They deserve the right to live in this country of what we call freedom. This cruelty and inhuman activities are all due to animal testing. According to a website based on the cruelty of lab animal testing, it states that there are more than 115 million dogs suffering, and cats, monkeys, mice, and dying each year. And only 80% of those animals aren't even protected by the Animal Welfare Act. I'm incredible to be talking about this because I have done plenty of research, and I have owned multiple pets and given them extra love that they deserve. There are alternative methods that can replace the need for animal testing. So today I would like to share the problems with animal testing. Then I will discuss what the animals exactly go through, and finally discussing a solution to getting rid of animal testing overall. First, I would like to discuss the effects of the animals being tested. During testing, animals endure a lot of pain, emotionally and physically. According to the New York Times published on January 19, 2015, an investigative reporter stated that the animals are producing more offspring than they're supposed to. For example, female pigs are starting to produce 14 piglets rather than producing 8, which then causes for deformed babies. In a book called Animal Testing by Stephanie Watson, she discusses that knockout mice are good animals to test. Basically, a knockout mouse is they take out a gene from the mice and put in a gene that can cause them to inherit a disease or be addicted to some type of chemical and inherit diabetes, cancer, or even other illnesses. What I don't understand is how can people be able to do this to animals, or even watch animals be put through this? Now that I've discussed the effects of animal testing, I will now discuss how animals are exactly tested. Animals are being put through a lot of pain. That just seems unreal and just wrong. Animals are taking chemicals straight into their eyes, bodies, forced up their noses, and even in their throats. They become highly addicted to drugs, maybe even blinded or forced to open their eyes with clips. With everything these animals are being put through, in the end, there has been shown many violations of animal policies and cases of extreme negligence. Can you imagine not having any control over what you can eat, when to sleep, who your partner will be? This is like a prisoner who committed a crime, except these animals didn't even commit any crimes. How is the U.S. letting animals be shocked, burned, and isolated? And painkillers aren't even a requirement. Tiny mice are growing tumors twice the size of their own bodies. Kittens are blinded, and basically no animals are being saved. Now that I've discussed how animals are tested, I will now discuss solutions. Animal testing may seem like the faster and easier choice, but there are other ways of harming innocent animals. A news article in Chicago Tribune published on January 28, 2008, it commented that Europeans are starting to ban the use of animal testing for cosmetics, and now companies are starting to look for high-tech alternatives. One includes a small glass chip that holds hundreds of tiny white dots loaded with human cell cultures and enzymes. It was created to mimic the reactions of humans to toxic compounds. So basically, animals are no longer needed to endure pain anymore. On a well-known website used by many educators and teachers called procon.org, founded in 2004. It showed the reasons for and against animal testing. One major point was called vitro testing, which is in a glass and studies cells in a petri dish. Studies have shown that it can produce more relevant results than animal testing because human cells are actually being used. Also, artificial human skin, such as products named Epiderm, is made of sheets of human skin cells that are grown in test tubes and can produce better results than testing chemicals on animal skin. Now that I have discussed a solution to getting rid of animal testing, I will now close things up. As you can see, I have told you about alternative methods that can replace animal testing. First, I discussed what the problem with animal testing was. Then I discussed what the animals actually go through. Then before finally talking about solutions to get rid of animal testing overall. We say that cruel and unusual punishments to humans is unjust, so why should we do it to animals?